mynews.studio.
Picture this: millions of solar panels spread across India's countryside, not just lighting homes, but helping millions escape poverty. How did this renewable energy surge help lift 415 million people?
Today is August 28th, 2025. That number, 415 million, it's almost difficult to wrap your head around. Maybe let's start at the beginning. Back in the early 2000s, what was life actually like for rural communities in India?
At that time, more than half of rural households didn't have reliable electricity. People were using firewood or kerosene, and basic services were limited. Around 55% of the population lived in multidimensional poverty.
So, when you say multidimensional poverty, you mean not just income, but also things like health, education, and access to services?
That's right. The government realized that tackling just one piece wasn't enough. They put together a coordinated strategy: renewables, welfare programs, economic reforms, all working together.
Let's dig into the renewable energy part. Why was it so effective, especially out in rural areas?
The real shift came with big investments in decentralized renewables. For example, the PM Kusum Yojana subsidized solar pumps for farmers, which meant fields could be irrigated without relying on diesel. Another initiative, the PM Surya Ghar Yojana, funded rooftop solar panels, so even homes not connected to the grid got power.
So these programs did more than just provide lighting. They powered irrigation, small businesses, and even gave families back time that used to be spent gathering firewood.
Exactly. That shift had ripple effects. Kids had more time to study, and adults, especially women, could take on paid work. It's easy to overlook how much opportunity is lost when energy isn't available.
And in cities, was the approach different?
Yes, more focus went to grid-connected solar, energy-efficient buildings, and electric public transport. Those steps helped emissions and air quality, but the direct impact on poverty was larger in rural areas.
Besides renewables, what kind of role did welfare programs play?
A major role. The Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act guaranteed rural jobs. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana brought millions into formal banking. Ayushman Bharat provided health insurance. These weren't just safety nets. They created new opportunities.
With such a huge population, how did they make sure the right people benefited?
They used the direct benefit transfer system paired with the Aadhaar digital ID. Subsidies and welfare payments went directly into people's bank accounts, removing middlemen and reducing corruption.
Was there much involvement from private companies?
Yes, private companies and social enterprises set up microgrids, trained local entrepreneurs, and offered low-interest loans. They often worked with the government to reach remote villages and fill gaps.
What about the main hurdles? High costs, technical skills, those kinds of issues?
Those were big challenges. The government tackled them with subsidies and loans, but also invested in training and building local capacity. That's what made the approach scalable.
By 2021, the numbers really changed. Poverty fell from 55% to 16.4% in just over a decade.
Yes, more than 415 million people moved out of multidimensional poverty in about 15 years. Extreme poverty by income dropped to 2.3% by 2022-23.
And it wasn't just incomes. Nutrition and child mortality improved as well.
Exactly. Nutrition deprivation fell from 44% to 12%. Child mortality rates also dropped sharply. But it's important to note, some states and groups advanced faster than others. There are still disparities.
Looking beyond India, what do you think is the global takeaway here?
India's experience shows poverty reduction and climate action can go hand in hand. If countries combine renewables, social programs, and transparent delivery systems, it can work. But each place has unique challenges to adapt this model.
For example, a country without a digital infrastructure, like India's, might struggle with direct transfers or targeting.
Exactly. The local context, like resources, governance, and social structures, matters a lot.
Still, the main point seems clear. You can link environmental sustainability with inclusive development, even on a massive scale.
And as countries face ongoing challenges with climate and inequality, India's story offers both hope and a practical example.
So, to recap, India's renewable energy push, combined with targeted social programs and reforms, helped move hundreds of millions out of poverty, while also advancing environmental goals. The question is, can this approach be adapted elsewhere? And what comes next?
That's the question for the future. Thanks for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.